morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you guys are watching this. So I posted a video about midweek last week over the new VTM by Hoyt, which we have sitting right here. And as expected, I got a lot of comments that were basically asking, hey, you didn't shoot the bows in the video. I could have got a lot of the information right off their website. And that's factual. I was just saving you guys the trip to their website. So today we're going to go ahead and really address those comments that were put on our YouTube channel. We were planning on doing this anyway, probably not till midweek, but because we had the comments come in, we're going to go ahead and get it done. Today is Monday. So I have two bows sitting here though. I have the VTM 34 and then I have the Ventum Pro, which is the 30-inch axle bow. This was the exact bow I used all hunting season for 2022. This is the bow setup I'll be using for 2023. But we're gonna try to get you guys to be able to hear the sound difference between the two bows. I don't know how effective we'll be in that. They're not gonna be mic'd up on the bow or anything like that. In addition, we're gonna talk over the grip, as that was addressed in the comments as well. We're gonna feel for those subtle changes that Hoyt has made, and I'm gonna relay that to the best of my ability over to you all in how it feels to the shooter's hand. We're gonna be shooting these bows from 10 and 20 yards, nothing crazy. This bow does not currently have a sight on it. This bow just got a sight put on it and it's good 20, 30, but not out much side of that yet. So we're at our indoor range over here in Magnum Sports on the north side of Greenville. Again, a lot of people don't even know we have a 40-yard indoor range here available for you all. So I want to make that known before we get this video underway. We're going to go ahead and grab our kit. We're going to move up to about the 10-yard line. And the first thing we're going to do is a sound test difference and see if you guys can hear a difference in sound. Now, I do want a few things to be mentioned before we go ahead and do this. Both of these bows are 70-pound bows, and they both are currently pulling 72 pounds, okay? That is where I have them set up. They both are running a 29-inch draw length, which is for me. But we may have differences in speeds and things like that due to the riser being longer on the 34, obviously. But generally speaking, we're working with the exact same cams, the HBX Pros. We have the same rest on both bows, the quads rest, and they are all felted up. Not a whole lot different besides a few dampeners that have been put on the strings of the 34 and the new grip. So we'll go ahead and address those here shortly. Let's head down to the range. All right, guys, we're down at 10 yards. I have my foot markings placed. That way I am the exact same distance away from the camera when I fire the Ventum versus the VTM. Arrow for this is going to be the 300 spine, 4mm Easton accesses. These are coming in at 432 grains, which is plenty for a hunting arrow. A little bit of a stiffer spine because we are firing over 70 pounds of weight. So the first bow we're going to go ahead and let it fly out of is going to be the Ventum. So we're going to go ahead and knock one right now. And hopefully you guys hear everything all right. Get my feet lined up with the firing point, and if I cut out a frame, not a big deal. The more important thing that you guys are getting out of this is the actual amount of noise, and if the tags are too much, we'll go ahead, take a listen, and take them off to go ahead and shoot without them as well. Okay, so I'm also like really feeling the grip angle again, paying attention to it because I'm not in the woods hunting. We're trying to do a comparison between these two bows. So that's the Ventum, and we'll go ahead and do a direct comparison. It may take a few more arrows. I won't do that on camera, just so I can give you guys the best feedback possible. But let's go ahead, grab that arrow, exact same arrow, and let's do it with the VTM and see where we're at. All right, so we got the VTM. My feet are placed in the exact same spots. Give it a rip and see if it makes a difference in sound or the actual grip itself. Real nice draw, both these bows. All right, so I can definitely tell a difference in the sound. I went back and listened to the video as well. That way I could just, I know this room is really amplified as it's just concrete and OSB. So what you guys are hearing is probably the loudest the bows will ever sound to you. If you're firing these outside or anything like that, they're gonna be even quieter. I did help the bows out a bit by fairly well equipping them. The only thing the Ventum is missing is a sight. Other than that, it has a quiver, it has a sidebar stabilizer on it, and everything else the VTM currently has on it as well, plus a sight. So that being said, these bows have had some help in the noise department. Just putting a quiver on and firing the bow with a quiver, which isn't ideal. I do not hunt with a quiver on my bow. When I get in the tree stand, I take it off. But it definitely helps, and I think it really helped for you, the target audience here, to go ahead and really hear the difference in sound. Again, both those bows were the same distance away from the camera, and we were able to pick up quite a difference in how much or how many decibels are being put off by the Ventum versus the VTM. The VTM is considerably quieter. I just, in between coming back here talking to y'all and after firing those two arrows, I went back and I started with a micrometer measuring the grip. I wasn't feeling a huge difference, to be honest to you all. But I am gonna fire again, starting right now, and I'm gonna start with the Ventum again. And I'm again feeling the grip angle, feeling how it feels in the swell of the palm. And then I also want to be considerate here of shock or hand vibration. The Ventum is a fairly dead bow for an aluminum bow, there's no question about it. So I really just want to focus on the way it's sitting in my hand, which is pretty comfy. And the way it fires, oh, interesting. It feels actually really good to me. The way it sits in my hand, it fits into the swell, the palm, the meaty portion of my hand like it's supposed to. My hand's high up against the riser. It's a comfortable grip. There's nothing wrong with that grip. We're gonna do the same thing with the VTM. All right, grip on the VTM. So as I was measuring with the micrometer, there were differences again. There are very small differences, but there are differences. There's no questioning that. I'm just feeling the grip. I'm gonna do it again, guys. Second go with the Ventum. And second go on the VTM. All right, so if you're feeling for the difference, you can feel it. The Ventum has a little bit more of a swell in the back of the grip that meets up with the meaty portion of your hand. Like it, hate it, that's really up to you. I do not mind this. It's definitely gonna take away from that bear riser type feel if that's something you really like, a really thin profiled grip. I would argue that it feels like the Ventum has a thinner grip than the VTM. That being said, the VTM feels like it has a grip on the bow. So they both sit really well. You're sitting really high into the riser and up into the pocket of your palm like you're supposed to. I mean, those differences are really minute, but if you're really feeling for it, I get it. You can feel the difference. And it feels like it wants to cradle to your hand just a little bit more in the VTM, or kind of maneuver your hand to no longer allow any hand torque, I guess is the best way to put it. So it's almost like putting a stop in your hand. It doesn't want you to torque the bow. With the Ventum, if you're not careful or you haven't been shooting a really long time, this can become problematic because you will torque the bow eventually at some point. So that's the big differences in grip. So again, addressing some of the things that we've talked about so far today, the only thing I have not, so let's back up for a second. Both these bows are fairly dead in the hand. There's not a ton of vibration coming back into your arm. And again, for those of you that aren't familiar with what a dead bow is, basically bows of the past, it'd be like taking a tuning fork for a piano and banging on something, and you could feel that vibration coming back into your hand for an extended period of time. As bows have progressed and gotten better over the time, what we found is that tuning, or that ringing that comes back into your arm from the metal object, in this case the riser of the bow, has really been limited. And both these bows are fairly dead. If I had to pick one over the other, well, the VTM, and that could be due to the default of rocking a 34-inch bow next to a 30-inch bow, and maybe a more fair comparison would have been the Ventum Pro Ultra, the 33-inch bow versus the 34. But regardless, it is deader in the hand as of this video right now. So overall improvements, yeah, they made some. They changed the sizes of their bow. People have gotten super aggressive with getting down to 27, 29, 28-inch bows. But that comes with giving up some other things that are really important that are super important to me as far as being a hunter. I'm more in the long haul of accuracy, being able to make a ranged shot when I head out west or something of that nature. I'm going to be a lot more confident, and the bow is going to be a lot more capable with a longer axle-to-axle bow. And I hate seeing new shooters picking up 27-inch bows that don't understand hand torque and things like that, and they make what would normally be an ethical shot with a 33-inch bow on a whitetail, but unfortunately it turns into an unethical shot because they torque the bow or something like that. And again, the biggest thing I can preach today is that practice. We should start practicing right now for the up and coming season in 2023. So practicing these things, understanding your bow, understanding your limits and capabilities is by far the most important thing you can take away from this video. But if I had to choose today over the VTM versus the Ventum, considering the way I hunt, I would go with the VTM, okay? And I say this because, first of all, the axle lengths, I think, are greatly improved. The grip, not the biggest factor for me by no means. Some of the weight reductions and the cable cutouts, because I do like using the Garmin A1i Pro, so having these cable cutouts is a really nice feature for me. They have a lot of the same patterns, but I would say the biggest thing that I can take away from the VTM versus the Ventum is a sound reduction. There's a considerable amount of sound reduction that has been done in the VTM line in comparison to the Ventum line. So you guys, I know we had a ton of questions. I hope this answers all those questions. If you guys want to see anything else about these bows, I'm more than happy to make these videos at the drop of a hat within the next week as I head into surgery next week. So, leave a comment, let me know, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And thank you guys so much for watching. As always, shoot straight, have fun, stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you guys at Magnum Sports.